Coley here. You should subscribe to my channel because otherwise real ones don't get famous and only people who do this kind of dumb shit do, you know?
I don't know shit. I don't know shit.
Coley here. You're revolutionary on life as art. I think everything in life can be viewed like art, right? You want to make it beautiful. You want to make it poetic. You want to find the meaning in it. I don't know, but existentially, maybe that's all life is. Maybe it's just one canvas, one song. You know, God's painting through us, and you get one blip, and maybe it's all meaningless. Maybe it's all meaningful. Maybe you take nothing with you. Maybe the whole thing was a wash, but you had that one moment of life to do what you could do with it, and you should do your best to make that a poem you love, right? But then that can filter down to every element of your life. Obviously, in the art you make, whether it's music, podcast, TV, film, whatever, content, you know, you want to make that good art. Oh, look at my little belly. Little belly. I could use a little LBs to make the art better, right? But here's Coley. I almost died. You know, this is what I got here for you. So I'm making it beautiful. I ain't, you know, worried about brand and stuff. This is where I'm at, right? I'm going with the authentic art. Side note, way off track here, but whatever. So, you know, you want your art to be good, but also you want to do business as art, right? So don't screw anybody. Pay out profit shares, split it with your cast and crew members. You know, if you owe something, pay it. You know, pay it forward. Do the right thing here and there. You know, view your friendships like art. You know, reciprocity and deciding to give and be there for them. And if they're going through something tough, like fucking ride, don't fucking skirt. You know, bleed a little for them when they need it, and vice versa. You know. And these are all hyper generalized examples, but the point I want to get to is, if you view it as art, it's almost easier to do it, right? I mean, look, these sound like beautiful things, and you could go, oh, Coley's an awesome dude, and he's doing awesome things, and you're like, yeah, I do believe that's true. That is true. I tried my best to be the best I fucking can. Lord knows I don't live up to it, but I'm a great guy. But also, like, maybe I'm not. I don't know. Like, maybe I'm a shithead. I don't know. Like, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm a terrible person. Like, if a guy comes up the street, tries to get me, I might pop him. But I choose to do the right thing. I choose. I'm just choosing to, like, oh, you're doing the right thing because it makes you look good, so you're a good person. It's like, no, I do it just because of the poetry of it. If that extraneous benefit, sure, great, awesome. See, and that's the cynicism that is pervaded in society, where you don't know who's the charlatan and who's the actual good person and who's the bad person, who's the psychopath, who's the sociopath. Like, you're doing the good thing, but it's because you're really a bad person, but you want it to look like the good thing, so you're a sociopath. It's like, dude, whatever, man. Just, like, fucking get to the real of why you do what you do, with who you do it, and how you do it, and make it art, right? Just choose right. Am I a good person because I walked the granny across the street? No, I chose to. I just chose to. Is that a good thing? Yeah, but you chose to do it. So you just choose to do it, like art. Choose to call the friend up, be there for him. Choose to send the text. Choose to forgive. Choose to, you know, choose to admit when you were wrong and say sorry. Choose, you know, just whatever it is. Just like choose the artistic, poetic approach, right? It's funny. I just said this to my buddy in a much less animated way. It was a philosophical chat, and then I come here and give it to y'all. It's funny how many of my pieces come from that, because I'm not really like the social media guy. I'm more like a beat poet, where I'm having coffee, talking about life, and then something comes up and I come give it to y'all. Also a choice. And so it becomes a little more animated and hopefully entertaining, but to be honest, it's better at the coffee. Have some coffee with me sometime. You want to have coffee? Find the link. let's have a coffee talk about it. It's even more energetic and, you know, abundant. But the reason I think it's a little bit more animated now is not just because it's recurring it to you, but also like little thing happened in the middle that was a little minor, triggering, traumatizing, whatever, and so that kind of gets you out of the flow because you have that little trauma, right? And then you got your peak self, and then you got your like hurt bird self or your human self who has all these lists of traumas. And the key is to kind of wash those away so that you can live your art. Like the more traumatized you are, the harder it is to live life as art, because you can't see it from the clouds to make those choices. Like you're so in your own face, you're so looking at the painting this close that you're just kind of responding and reacting to life instead of choosing to make it poetic. So I have deep empathy for that. We all have that. So the more traumatized, hurt, or self-work you need to get to self-love to then make choices that are better, it's hard, right? And so even that little nick there threw me a little off my game in this, where it was a lot smoother when I just had that coffee. And so it's a little harder to make the art as good. That's a metaphor for life, right? So these traumas that occur, it's like you got to do the work. I've listed on other ones various things you can do for that, like stuff I did after my head injury, neck surgery, various crazy things. And you got to choose to do it so you can get out of it, because there's a place for licking each other's wounds for sure and commiserating. But at a certain point, if you're sitting in the bar telling a person, you know, my dad did this, my mom did this, and then she broke up with me in this, and you know, it hurt like that. I mean, you know, these are things you got to work through, and they're very real. But also, if I were to list every trauma that occurred to me, like every trauma that happened to me, both physical, mental, whatever, all the shit, it would take like a whole nother lifetime to go through it all. So what do? Does it just pile up, or you transmute it into art? So there's the other side of art, not just the choice from above to make it beautiful because you have the luxury of doing that because you feel so good and self-loving, but the other side of like when you're in pain, you decide to make something good from it instead of more pain. You know, instead of just scratching the scar and scratching the itch and repeating it, looking for somebody to get rid of it for you, you turn it into something that might be beneficial for others. And in that moment, you can make magic, man. Like one thing I said to my bud the other day was, you know, I believe in God, whether you call it Tao, whatever. I talk on this all the time. I'm not gonna repeat it, but you know, when I was like laid out with brain encephalitis and severe COVID and double pneumonia, it looked like I might not make it. It's terrible. They go, oh, this is terrible. This is so terrible. This is gonna be bad. The thought at the bottom of the well was, oh, this is God working through me. This is gonna be magical. I mean, that's delusional. It took years to come back from that. But that little spark of delusional optimism is what got me all the way back here. And that's kind of like God, right? It's like dark into light. You know, only light can get rid of dark. You know, you can't have dark, add more dark to get rid of the dark. You can't have war, add more war, it gets rid of the war. It's like you can't have fire and add more fire to get rid of the fire. You got to add water, right? So at some point, the dark has to become light. The fire has to become water. So in that moment of hell, I got the light and was like, okay, I'm going to choose that, and this is some mystical reason for this occurring. I truly believe that, but you could say cynically it was just like delusional optimism or something. So whatever, it worked, and slowly followed that light all the way up here, you know, cleansing those traumas, both physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, archetypal, and ancestral, to get here, have my best self. And you gotta try to transmute the manure into crops. The you know, that was a very big example, but you know, some little trauma, and you're like, all right, I could even stew in this and go bitch about it, or I could like turn it into an answer, right? Or something happens and you're like, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna make a song about it, and now you're like, I'm happy that happened, and you have a song for others. So in that moment, the light turns the dark to light, you know. So you can choose to how to play with what life gives you, because life's fucked. I mean, you know, life is not just all roses and shit. I'm not saying that. I mean, it certainly isn't. Look at mine. But it you know, if you look at it as all beauty, I think you can make it more beautiful, you know? And an example in pop culture of this, and let me say up front, I am very conflicted on this particular show, but I think that's why I ended up coming around to why I'm for it. Baby Reindeer, all right? I watched it, I binge watched it this week. Like each night I watched 1 or 2 episodes straight through. Could not stop watching it. Watch it every night. Like almost viscerally hated every second of it. Like I was so mad at the lead character. It made me furious how much he just kept making the wrong choice and seemingly was causing his own problems but blaming other people for it. Really, in some ways, he was very, very toxic. You know, this person had mental illness, and he knows exactly what the situation is with the dude, but he keeps going there. It's like, oh, he made me do drugs every night forever. Like every week we did it again, and he made me. And it's like, dude, stop going there, dude. Stop the fuck going there. And even after terrible things would happen, he would keep doing it. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's talking about it like he's a victim. And you're like, this is it's well shot. It's like watching a car crash. The character acting of everybody's amazing. Martha made me cry when she was in court. Like you just had so much empathy for this person who couldn't get out of their madness. And man, it had me hooked, but it was making me furious. And so the whole week I'm texting my buddy like just the various reasons why I can't stand this lead character in this show. And then I finish it, and yeah, at the end admits to kind of what I just said, the victim complex, causing his own issues and things, but still went back and to the abuser again, and then also like didn't cut Martha in on a deal on this. Side note, on a business perspective, poetic wise, Richard Gadd, give the real Martha a profit share or a cut from the show. You used her like a research project. She's the mad one. It spurred your greatest creation. She shouldn't have to sue you for defamation and all this. You made millions of dollars from this, I assume. Just give her a cut, man. You used her like a research project, knowingly or unknowingly. Involve her in the art of it. So it was beautiful for all participants. She shouldn't have to sue you. That's more traumatic. And then you're suing. That's traumatic for everybody. Just like life is art. You just turned your pain into art. Turn her pain into art. Let her have a cut. Straight up. And Netflix, you know you got it. Give her a cut, man. Side note, business is art there. But as far as the show itself creatively, I left it hating it. And then right before I went to bed, I knew exactly what the point of it was. Self-sabotage. The show's about self-sabotage. The ways in which we do the wrong thing in a way that would hurt us, and it just makes no logical sense. And why does he keep doing this? Self-sabotage. And maybe we all don't do it in such a clusterfuck way like that dude did, but we all do it in different ways. I started to have some intellectual humility of like, damn, when people see my TV show, they're gonna be like, Coley, why do you keep blowing things up? Why do you keep jumping off stuff? Why do you keep doing crazy shit if you keep getting hurt from it? I mean, yeah, maybe I caused my own fucking shit. Believe me, I came to that on my own. That's why I got here. I looked it right in the fucking face and you go, what the fuck am I fucking up? What do I got to do to improve? Who do I love? Who do I don't? What do I got to do? Ba 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 ba. You know, and you do it. So we're all guilty of self-sabotage until we realize we're doing it. We even do it on the micro. He goes up to the police, doesn't tell them the truth. Goes up to this, doesn't say the thing. Doesn't, I should have did this, but I did this. Like, what, like if we know in our soul and we love ourselves, you don't do that. You make the right choice. You know, life is art. You make the right choice. When you don't love yourself, you fucking make some iteration of trauma thing. This is weird. So I'm a comedy guy. I like the transmutation, but from a dramatic point of view, he really does nail some psychological things that we do. So right before bed, I'm like, oh, it's about self-sabotage. All right, dope. And then this morning I woke up and I go, I love it. I love it. I love Baby Reindeer. I went all the way from that to, I love it. I love it. And it's because it's art. It made me think. very few things make me think this hard about it and feel this way. I mean, the fact that it gave me such a visceral, I don't hate anything except for Miami. I don't hate anything or any person, but Miami, y'all need to fucking quit with the fucking violence and all. I mean, just, y'all are really fucking wild. But anyway, sorry, Miami. I'm sure there's great folks there too. Life is art. But it made me viscerally hate it. So that because I do have intellectual honesty and I can make the choice, I don't hate anything. It's like, wait a second, might I love it? It got me thinking. Was it flawed? Yes. Was he flawed? Yes. But there was an art to it, you know? So it got me thinking. It got me feeling. It asked questions. It got me talking about it with people. And with intellectual honesty, I could come around and under one night of sleeping to I love it. And thank God, because I ain't no hater bitch. I ain't on fucking YouTube. So I don't understand y'all on there. Make better art, man. That YouTube comment is not artistic. Fucking do something else with it. And I also understood why so many people hate me. I'm like, dude, I'm doing such a fucking hard job here trying to be fucking solid, and y'all still hate me, man. And it's because of this. I make you think. I'm fucking eccentric. I do things that you're like, what the fuck is he doing that for? That's art. There's kinetic art that makes you attract to it or push away. And it's the same thing. Whether you attract to it or you're pushed away is the same thing. There's pornographic art, which is just kind of the same thing, like the desire thing. I mean, that's, whatever. And then there's that kind of existential art that just kind of holds you in your place with it. Not separate, not part of it. You just like see the towel of it. And that's really the best kind of art. So, in walking your path and making your life as art, I would suggest, not that I fucking know, and suggesting is whack, just try to make it artful. Use the concept of art to give yourself a little distance from your human bullshit. And just, instead of making the decision from the trauma or the decision from this, decide to turn the other cheek. Decide to forgive. Decide to say I'm sorry. Decide to do the right thing business-wise. You don't got to go back into trauma. You don't got to owe nobody nothing. But just decide to make it right on the energy. Just use the tools of life to paint what you would like it to look like. And as you've seen with me, I got everything I wanted. I was hyper ambitious, artistic, and a hypochondriac. So what did I get? I got a whole lot of art, and I got fucked health-wise. Subconsciously, I must have fucking manifested that. And once I realized it, I cleared it all out. And here I am manifesting just the up choices. Because up is way better than down. So let's choose up. Love y'all.
I don't know shit. Right now 76, thinking. I don't know shit. Yeah, I don't know shit.